Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for tuning back in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Layla, the Lenormand reader, and I use the amazing Lenormand deck. Download your starter guide so you can discover and master this amazing deck. Welcome to a new weekly reading. We are doing an extended line of 5 today with the beautiful Tara Lenormand. So as usual, let's go ahead and start with you, Aries. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aries, here is your extended line of 5, and there is a focus on people and relationships. We have the ring in the middle, and we have the woman, which represents a person, and we have the house, which often represents home and family. Now, we also have the child, which can refer to children, so we could be looking at children, your children, or someone else's children, or children within a specific environment, but the child is also a card of new beginnings. We also have the fox, which is often a card of jobs, although it can be a little bit tricky when it comes to people. So let's go ahead and begin at the beginning, Aries. We've got the bird child, and this could be a new conversation or possibly a new avenue of expression. And with the ring here, you could be negotiating some kind of agreement, or maybe you're just, kicking off a relationship. And we have the woman, so it represents the person. And then we have the roads, which is a card of the path ahead. And so you could be exploring this relationship. The road is pretty open-ended, and it's a bit opposite to the ring. The ring is committed, and the road is sort of more open. So I would say at this stage, you want to keep your options open. You want to keep an open mind about this relationship and see where it's heading. So clearly there's a new connection here that you're exploring. Now, we could also be looking at people that are supporting you with a certain involvement or commitment. So it's maybe not just strictly about a relationship, but something that you're getting involved in and that has people in it. So again, the same idea with the bird, child, and ring. It's like a new opportunity or a new involvement, and you're sort of exploring how it goes. Now, what context from just this middle line we don't really see, Aries. We just see this connection and this opportunity and this involvement. It's really from the middle column that we have a bit more of a hint about what area we're looking at. And that would be because of the fox, which is a card of work and jobs. And so with the house, which can be a place as well, you could be looking at a new job or a new project within your job, or some kind of new engagement that requires some discipline and some work. So this is quite supportive. Now, the cards are not the brightest of cards, but they are kind of steady, and it looks like you can take some tangible steps in this direction, Aries. Now, another thing that comes up with the house, ring, and fox is quite straightforwardly, we could be looking at renting out, or dealing in things related to home, domestic work, or domestic commitments and responsibilities. That's because the house is often the card of home and family. The same idea can apply in another context, like with your work, it would be your commitment to your job. In another environment, like a group that you're part of or something else, maybe your gym, maybe some kind of activity in your life, again, you could be looking at some commitments here. I have to say, Aries, that when it comes to people, the fox is a little bit tricky. It tends to represent people who are a little bit selfish, self-interested, not real, not genuine all the way, and things like that. So it is a card that cautions you against certain types. It cautions you against being trusting too quickly. And it is also a card that encourages you to keep to yourself. So you play a little bit the role of the fox. So just keep this in mind as you're working through a relationship, working through commitments in a certain environment, and these sorts of dynamics. Now, the child with the house, woman, and fox, you could be looking at a new job, a new colleague, a new customer, or a new person within a certain environment. And again, the fox encourages you to be cautious and tactful and diplomatic. But it's certainly a clear message of a new relationship or some kind of new situation here that has people in it. The bird with the house, road, and fox. Here we see a stronger negotiating factor because of the bird. And with the fox, it can be quite clever. So you could actually be pretty smart about how you go about this, Aries. But the fox definitely encourages you to be tactful and diplomatic and to balance this out with the bird. The bird is quite vocal. It can be a little bit anxious, nervous, a little bit all over the place, but the fox definitely tempers this. So you want to express yourself, you want to negotiate, but you want to balance this out with a smart approach and a clever one. And with the house and road, again, you're exploring this space or this opportunity or this relationship, and it does pay to keep an open mind. Now, the road is not, it's not rigid, it's not committed, you know, it doesn't keep you stuck. So there is that energy of being open-minded, but it does also mean, Aries, that you go with it for a bit at least, and you explore it and you see what it's like, and you can drop expectations. Like, you can enjoy the process without having rigid ideas about what should come out of this relationship or this involvement. So these are some pretty easygoing cards, I would say, overall. I think you know where you stand relative to this. You know what you need, what you're after, but you're also willing to be open. Good to know some people, good to explore opportunities with them, good to see what happens in this context. So let me know where this played out for you, Aries, what that situation was for you specifically. I look forward to your thoughts and feedback about this. Very best of luck with the week. Take it easy, let go, move forward, and best of luck with it. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Taurus, here is your extended line of 5. I have to say, this is quite an interesting set of cards. It's potentially a big deal. We have a news element, and we have a very strong combination at the end of the line, which is the anchor and coffin. The anchor and coffin is a conclusion, a strong conclusion, but that would be just the anchor on its own. With the coffin, we could be looking at an ending. And because the anchor is so strong and certain and even kind of rigid, it does suggest here that you need to bring something to a close and to complete it. Now, what's interesting is that we have the lovely clover earlier in the line, and this is one of the brightest cards of the deck. So this is definitely an encouragement for you to move on and end this and bring it to a conclusion. It sounds like you had been hesitating about this or possibly being stuck with it. And we see this because of the clouds right in the middle of your extended line of 7. The clouds is a card of hesitation and tension, confusion. It's very much a card of the mind, and it's often on the more negative side. So it's like stressful thoughts, negative thoughts, and things like that. Now we have the letter at the top, which is a card of news and communication. So just from an overview, we're looking towards at the need to communicate clearly and to bring something to a close without hesitating anymore. Let's back up to the beginning of the line. We have the Tower and Clover. Now, it sounds like you had been waiting on this, which sounds like it's been wise. It's wise of you to have been patient. But I think we're reaching the end of this at this point. The Clover and Clouds is very much a combination that encourages you to avoid struggling mentally, to avoid being negative about this. You could be dwelling on some negative thoughts, and this is totally unnecessary, Taurus. The anchor and coffin is very much about ending this state of hesitation, of wobbliness, and bringing this to a close. So you've given this time, you've done the right thing by giving it time, and now you're wrapping up this chapter. It could also be something that you're aware is going to happen, and maybe you're just nervous about the ending that is ahead. Now, the letter, clouds, and mountain in the column. So definitely the letter and clouds can bring some confusing news, some stressful news, possibly some upsetting news. And the mountain can mean a couple of things here. It can mean that it comes from abroad, it's online, or it's from another location, someone who's far away. And it's also possible that the mountain represents an obstacle. So you could have been waiting on this news. Maybe you weren't getting this news, or you weren't able, you yourself, to communicate. It's definitely a card of blockage, and this is part of the stress that we see with the clouds. Now, this is going to be resolved at this point, Taurus, and I do think the cards are nudging you not to dwell on this any longer. With the anchor and coffin, it's clear that there's an ending, but it is also taking an action. And it seems to me that doing something about this is better than staying in this state of wobbliness and hesitation. Now, the clover with the letter, anchor, and mountain is actually a really bright combination. You could have a connection abroad, or maybe you're looking at setting something up abroad. And with the clover and letter, you could get a green light or the feedback that you need. You could also get the news that you had been waiting for. And it could also mean that you are able to get through and communicate. So you could be working on setting something up abroad. And with the anchor and coffin, you could be wrapping up your current situation and, just expanding from here. So going beyond your current boundaries, shall we say. The tower with the letter, coffin, and mountain is another indication of bringing something to a close. So you could be wrapping up this space in that location. You could be wrapping up where you are now or the situation that you're in and bringing it to completion. So again, the mountain can represent a blockage. And I have a few feelings about this, Taurus, but one that stands out is that maybe you should stop waiting on this forever and that you need to draw a line. So if it's not going to move forward, you have to decide at what point you're going to stop waiting and stop trying to figure it out or staying stuck in this state and just say that's it. You're going to drop it and move on. And from these cards, Taurus, it's pretty clear that this could be a week when you draw the line or finally you're able to in some way or other. Now, the tower is a card that can mean a few things. It can point to something that you had been waiting on for some time. It can represent a phase of time, usually a longer kind of chapter. And this is what's coming to a close. But the tower is also a card of business and corporations and companies. It's also the card of law, legal matters, official things, and things like that. So the news or the communication or this thing that you're after, that you're dealing with, could be something related to government, to something official. And this could be a bit of a headache, like it is most of the time, to be honest. And so maybe this is what you're able to wrap up. You could be looking at a job or a company that you're moving on from. And you could be, it could represent any kind of environment, usually on the more official side, the more professional side. But like I said, it can also represent this phase of time that you had been patient with. So from the cards, we don't really see the context or the specific area, Taurus, but we do see a clear message of needing to draw a line, communicating accordingly, and getting out of this state of uncertainty and stress that seems to be the case for you based on what I'm seeing here with the clouds. You can take care of this. You can move past it. You can do something about it. And this is definitely a nudge for you to do so. So I'm really interested to know, Taurus, what you'd been dealing with and what had been weighing on your mind, if you're willing to share. And hopefully at this point you can draw a line, communicate clearly, and move past it. I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Best of luck with this, Taurus. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 7 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Gemini, here is your extended line of 5, and I have to say this is a handful. Why? Because we have the most challenging pair of the deck, the Scythe and Whip, but we also have 3 of the brightest cards of the deck, and that's not an exaggeration. The Star and Sun are the most powerfully positive cards, and the Clover is the all-around lucky card, so it very much supports this. Now, just from an overview, it's very clear, Gemini, that you're going to be able to overcome these challenges. And you're very likely to come out victorious and on top and feeling really fulfilled as a result. We have the Rider and Ship on either side of the Whip, and these are travel cards, or they can be, but they are very good with moving forward with your ambitions and, making progress. Now, obviously with the Whip, there's going to be some things in the way, but it sounds like this is what you're overcoming this week. So backing up at the beginning here, we have the Star and then the Scythe and Whip. So the Star earlier Of course, it's always nice to see it on the other side, but we do have the sun in clover, so that's fine. But the star earlier can mean a couple of things. It can mean either that you are in a positive mindset and you're able to see the big picture. And this is part of what helps you to deal with the issues here. Another thing is that you could be looking forward to a break off and a separation. That is the scythe and whip. And a third possibility is that your hopes and ambitions are challenged and that you might need to temper your expectations a little bit. So all of these are possible. Now, with the sun and clover on the other side of these cards, this is a very beautiful message of healing and success. So this can call for a confrontation, a bit of a fight, a bit of a struggle, but that you're able to overcome it. And I also think, Gemini, that if you had to compromise a little bit on your ambitions, you could have an opportunity to catch up or to be back on track with these ambitions after the struggle. So it does call for a bit of a more confrontational, a more aggressive action on your part. And it sounds like you are going to come out on top. So this is lovely. And you can readjust, whatever got in your way through the scythe and whip. Now, something else that's possible, Gemini, is that maybe you need to let go of something. Maybe something is in your way and you need to fight it off or kick it out or, aggressively draw some boundaries. And this could be really liberating and healing and relieving. So all of these are possible, Gemini, and you let me know which scenario or which source of energies you feel are playing out for you best. Now, the rider and ship on either side of the whip, these, like I said, are movement cards. They're often about travel, but they're also great with pursuing goals and ambitions. Now, with the whip in between, it's very clear that some things are in your way. And so this is what you're fighting off this week and what you're going to overcome. Now, the scythe with the rider, sun, and ship, there could be a change of direction here. And again, this could be aligned with the idea of letting go, Gemini, moving on from something. And this could feel really rewarding and relieving. So you're able to kick off something that was either misaligned with you or that's weighing on you or that's wasting your time or just affecting you negatively in some way or other. So take this as a message to draw a line where you can, where you need to, and to get rid of something or a situation or even a goal that is not aligned with you. Now, the star with the rider, clover, and ship is a very beautiful message of being on track. It's great for travel. It's great for goal achievement. It's great for seeing the efforts pay off and all sorts of successes and good things materializing. So it's another confirmation that you're able to overcome the challenges. So it's potentially a struggle, Gemini, but not without reward. So you might need to headbutt a little bit this week, do a bit of fighting, do a bit of wrestling, a bit of confrontation, but it's definitely going to come out with positive outcomes for you. And also remember that if you need to remove anything from your situation, from your environment, from your path, or even your to-do list or goals, then do this and you'll find that it like opens you up and you're able to pursue your goals with a lot more clarity and momentum. So bright cards, but not without a bit of struggle, Gemini. I certainly look forward to your feedback on this. We don't see in what context this is happening. The dynamic is really what's captured here. So it could be anything from personal, work-related, or your life as a whole. If you're willing to share, I'd be really happy to see what you've got to say about this. Very best of luck with this, Gemini. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your line of 7 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Cancer, here is your extended line of 5. It's looking bright across the board. We have the beautiful clover and key. And we have the fox, which is a little bit tricky. It tends to suggest questionable characters, but it's also a really good card for work and discipline. So it sounds like you're on the right track. Things are moving forward. You're achieving your goals. So the cards seem a bit broad in this sense. We have the road in the middle, which can point to choices or changes. But whatever you do, Whether you're making a change or making a choice, it looks like you're going to be making the right one for you. So the Clover and Stork is lovely for change. And the Stork and Road very much emphasizes change. So I have to say this is the key takeaway from your cards. There is a positive change, and the key is a card of solutions, and the Rider is a card of ambition and about moving forward. It's also great for a messenger and good news, but I think in this context, it's more about the direction that you're heading into, because we have the Road and Rider. So here you're encouraged to make this change. It's going to be positive change. And with the Key and Rider, you're going to be on the right track. So you could be adjusting in order to be focused in the right direction. The House with the Road and Fox can mean a few different things as well. You could be moving homes. That's possible, and that could come with the Stork and House as well. You could be moving jobs. You could be making adjustments in your home or your work. And also, it is a combination for creating a bit of distance between you and Fox types. Okay, so if there are some people like that in your life, it's a good opportunity to create a bit of distance. And in view of the middle line, this could be part of what helps you focus better, okay? So removing distractions, negative types, and things like that. But we're not seeing anything dramatic at all. Now, the Stork with the House, Key, and Fox, I have to say, Gemini, that this is very much a combination that can affect your home. It could be about moving, renting, buying, selling. You could also be making some changes at your home or possibly in your work. But these are great cards for positive changes and success. And also when it comes to types like the Fox, you could have a breakthrough with such people. So really good cards. The Clover with the House, Rider, and Fox is great for work. It's great for jobs. It's great for your customers. And it's also great for being disciplined to get things done. So even though they're not very fast cards, they potentially are with the Stork and Rider, but the House and Fox are a lot more stable, and they have a strong sense of discipline. So it sounds like you can make an adjustment, make a change that's going to inspire you to move forward. And when you do move forward, you are in this steady state of discipline, of productivity, getting things done. So these are really nice cards for your work, your projects, your job, or, taking care of home, family, and other areas of your life. I'm not really seeing this relationship aspect in the sense of the one-on-one, but even if it's about that, Gemini, we see some really good progress and some really good vibes and progress moving forward. Again, the Fox is always a bit cautious when it comes to people. So this could be a message for you, Gemini, to be smart about your connections. And also, you might want to keep some things to yourself. It sounds like you're pretty busy. You're getting things done. It's lovely. It's successful. And, just enjoy that. You don't need to toot your horn to everyone around you. Just get busy with your stuff and being happy, being productive. And also, if you're at a juncture and you need to make a decision, I think we have some really encouraging cards here. Gemini, you're going to make the right choice. I would say, if we need to answer your question as to which choice you should make, the clues that are coming through the cards is the choice that is going to help you achieve your goals, the choice that keeps you in a more steady state, and that is one that strengthens your discipline. So I hope these are helpful clues. You let me know, and also let me know in what context all of this played out for you. Again, move forward. This is definitely a week for action. Even if it's not fast action, it needs to be steady and focused action. Let me know what you make of these ideas. Cancer, as always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Leo, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Leo, here is your extended line of 5, and we have a very strong and clear combination in here, which is the Ring and Scythe. And this is a combination of divorce and separation. On top of that, we have the Cross, which can make things a little bit difficult because the Cross is a card of burden and things weighing on you. But it is also a message of importance and things that are meant to be. Now, we also have the dog in the cards, and the dog is a card of people. It represents a friend, a colleague, a sibling, someone usually in your peer group, if you like. So we see it with the ring, we see it with the scythe, and we're going to see it also with the cross. So we could be looking at different people or the same person. So let's take these possibilities in turn. Leo, let's begin at the beginning of the rhyme. We have the garden, moon, and ring. This is great for a meeting, a relationship that is doing well. But then we have the scythe, which is a very clear message of a separation, and a cross. So the thing about the cross here is that it could be kind of forcing you to let go of something that might have been good or that you'd been enjoying. Maybe you have to make a choice. Maybe now isn't the right time, or maybe you're torn between different priorities. So you have to say no to some things and yes to others. With the flowers, ring, and dog, we could be looking at another relationship. So you could be parting from one and connecting with another. And the cross suggests that this is not the easiest thing for you to do, as in making this decision. The flowers, ring, and dog is a very beautiful message. It's great for a relationship. It could be a love relationship that's evolving out of a friendship, or it can be other sorts of connections. It could be work-related or personal. Really, all of the possibilities are on the table because we don't have a strict reference to whether it's work, money, business, family, whatever. So the theme is flexible. But we definitely see the dynamics here. We see a separation, possibly the need to make a choice, and, focusing on the priority. The moon with the flowers, scythe, and dog. Here, it's not so much a separation as much as there's a breakthrough. You could also have someone return. And the reason I say that is because the flowers is often a card of someone returning. So this could come suddenly. It could be a happy surprise, but there is definitely a breakthrough with someone. Now, the garden with the flowers, cross, and dog is also positive, even though we have the cross in here, because the flowers is really bright and the cross is not always negative. So this is a great time to prioritize your relationships, prioritize your involvements, and also to embrace the change and to embrace the person you're going to be connecting with moving forward. So it does look like a decision needs to be made, and there are changes and choices and priorities, and it can feel a bit rough or a bit difficult to make a decision, but it sounds like you are going to make the right decision and you're going to be happy about it. And when it comes to relationships, there's some really good prospects here. You could be letting go of a relationship, but also connecting with someone, and it feels good, and it's also fun, and you could be having some good times together. And that's also a good takeaway, Leo, is that even if there are some challenges that you're working through this week, it doesn't mean that you can't have fun where you can or enjoy some good times with certain people. And the cards can apply in different contexts. So this is quite flexible from the cards. Yes, the ring is a card of relationships, and we are looking at relationships, but we have relationships in just about every area of life. So whether this is at home, family, work, money, business, whatever, this is really flexible from the cards. I'd be really interested in your feedback about this. They're quite curious, these cards, and the setup is kind of interesting. So I look forward to your feedback, Leo, if you're willing to share. What were the changes? What were the separations? What were the priorities and choices that you needed to clarify and make? I really look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Virgo, here is your line of 5, and it's looking really bright. We have the beautiful sun and the beautiful key in the line, and we have the anchor in the middle, which is great for a sense of strength, security, and confidence. Now, we have the mouse in the cards, which is really the only challenging card, and again, it's not that dramatic, and certainly with the bear and anchor, you're definitely on top of this. So with the sun, road, and anchor, you could be reaching a conclusion coming to a decision, coming to a conclusion. You could also be making up your mind about something, and you could also have completed a journey or arrived at your destination. You're definitely on the right track. The Sun is a card of all-around success. And certainly with the key and moon, you are on the right track. So could be very much about achievement, arriving at the right place, at the right situation. You could also be getting what you want. So maybe you had been waiting on something and you get very positive feedback. I have to say also that the moon can be a card of honors and appreciation. And we have the Sun and moon that bracket the line. These could also point to a love relationship, although I'm not really inclined to see it this way, Virgo. But you're on the right track. You've achieved something. It could be quite significant. You could get the appreciation and the honors that you deserve. So lovely cards. Now, the bear with the anchor and mouse can suggest some challenges because the mouse is a card of issues, annoyances, little bumps. It's not a big deal, but the message of the mouse is really to take care of things while they're small so that they don't grow into anything big. Now, the bear and anchor are both very strong cards, and because they're sort of on top of the mouse, you're definitely going to be able to take control of whatever issues are brought by the mouse. And you certainly want to focus on the details and look at them while they're small. Now, the road, bear, key, and mouse is another clear message of a solution. Again, the mouse is really small compared to the key, sun. So you're on top of this, but you don't want to postpone this. You don't want to procrastinate on this. You want to take care of the issues right now. The sun with the bear, moon, and mouse is also lovely. Again, we've got the mouse in here. So it points to whatever issues or challenges come up. You have the grace, the strength, the determination, and the optimism to deal with this, Virgo. So definitely take care of it. And take things in stride. I'm not saying overlook them, but, bring them down into perspective. You've got interesting things going for you. And I don't think you need distractions or little negative things here getting in your way. Another thing, Virgo, is that the cards are really flexible in terms of context. So this could apply in many different contexts. You could be looking at things you're pursuing at work and your life in general, in some other area of your life. We're not really seeing people cards in here, so I don't think it's focused on relationships. I think it's really mostly about you, Virgo, bringing yourself on the right path, taking care of what could be in your way in order to avoid distractions and to bring everything into control and to pursue your objectives. And like I said, you could also get some honors or get something, some kind of recognition, or there could be some kind of achievement. And something else that's possible is maybe a promotion or some kind of improvement in your life because of the bear, key, and moon. And also the sun and anchor, really. So very nice cards. Remember to stay focused. I think this element of focus and boundaries and being on the right track is going to be really key. And it sounds like everything else follows. So let me know what you make of this, Virgo. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Libra, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what's ahead for you this week. Okay, Libra, here is your extended line of 5, and it's really nice for a relationship. We have the man, the heart, and the ring at the top. And with the beautiful key in the center, it sounds like here you have an opportunity to meet someone, or this person that you're with or that you're getting to know is someone you're getting along with. Now, I do feel that this is more on the romantic, personal side, but it can work out in other contexts as well. So backing up here, we have the man, ship, and key. This is definitely a lovely direction that opens up. Things move forward. You now have an opportunity to go ahead with the relationship or do things together. It could also be someone who offers you an opportunity. The key is definitely about unlocking and opening. And the child and heart points to a wonderful new beginning. Now, it could be a new love, or it could be a a new relationship like we suggested, but it could also be something new that you want to do that makes you happy, and perhaps this person is the one who enables this opportunity for you. The key is definitely the green light, and we have the beautiful ship here and the heart at the end of the line, clearly pointing to a wonderful new direction, a new beginning, or a new relationship. Now, the ring with the key and house is also beautiful. This is great for a relationship or a connection or a collaboration. And the key and house is often about opening up, unlocking, and breaking through into a certain environment or into this relationship or this opportunity that we're looking at. So these are really good cards for this new beginning, this new opportunity, and potentially or likely a new relationship. I have to add, Libra, that the key and house can also point to something in relation to the home, or maybe where you live. So you could buy, sell, you could find a new place, rent out. All sorts of activities in relation to the house, the home are also well starred. You could find a new collaboration, a new renter. You could find, if you're buying and selling, you could find someone to buy or to sell. So these are really great cards for this area as well, if it applies to you. I know it's a bit more specific than the broader interpretation so far. Now, the ship with the ring, child, and house is another confirmation of this wonderful new beginning or this wonderful new relationship. And because of the house, it could be a new place, a new environment, or a new group, or whatever sort of smaller situation that the house typically represents. It tends to represent smaller, more intimate groups, if not straightforward home and family. Now, the man with the ring, heart, and house is another very beautiful message here. The ring and heart clearly together suggest a beautiful connection and a relationship that is evolving. And the man and house also points to getting together with this person, maybe spending time together, or it can refer to the environment where you're meeting this person. So again, it feels more intimate, more romantic, and I feel this is more likely about a personal relationship. So it's either you meet someone and it feels really good and you move forward in this direction with them, or it's already someone you know and it's evolving into something more solid, more romantic. And if it's not about a personal relationship, Libra, the cards are still really lovely, highlighting an opportunity, a new chapter, a new direction that is aligned with what you want. And it sounds like this person is part of the picture, supporting you with this in some way or other. So these are some really nice cards, Libra. I would say go for it, enjoy this, be open to the relationship, spend time with this person. They affect your life in a really positive way. And let me know in what context it plays out for you, Libra, whether it's personal or something else. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Scorpio, here is your extended line of 5, and I have to say it's a little bit unsettling, and also it's not really conclusive. So there's a situation that you're dealing with here. It surrounds a person or a friend, a colleague, a sibling, possibly a child, usually someone like an older kid, a teenager. But we have cards that don't really bring something to a close or even bring clarity. And that's mainly because of the clouds at the end of the line. But we also have the mouse earlier, and we have the coffin, and the moon in certain combinations can bring out the dark side of the moon. So like I said, we've got the dog in the middle. The dog is the card of friends, colleagues, family, friends, maybe siblings or older children. And so in the central position of your extended line here, it's clear that they are the focus for you this week. Now, earlier we have the mouse and rider. So this is things progressing slowly. There can also be some challenges. The mouse is not very dramatic, and the clouds isn't either. So the whole reading is not dramatic. It's not like we have the whip and the scythe and all of these big cards that bring big challenges. But they they do bring a sense of cloudiness. It muddies the picture. The energy is a bit negative. And with the Rider, things are not progressing very quickly. There are issues and challenges and speed bumps that you need to go through with this person. And with the Stork and Clouds, I think you're trying to clarify things. You're trying to get things off the ground. You're trying to clarify matters, but I don't think you're able to do that within the week. The Clouds, specifically at the end of the line, suggest that there are more issues that come up. And maybe that's what you need to focus on this week, Scorpio, is that you need to bring out the issues, let them come through to the surface. The Coffin with the Dog and Moon points to someone who is probably closed off and who is feeling a bit down and negative. They're a little bit depressed. And so the whole energy feels a little bit down around this person, Scorpio. Maybe they're the ones going through issues and you're trying to support them, although I don't really think you're able to. You're not really sure what to do. Or it can be that the connection between you and this person is not so great. Now, the thing about the Coffin is that it's a good idea to give it time. So you're trying to get things off the ground with the Rider and Stork. You're trying to move ahead, but I don't think you've got the green light. We've got the Rider and Clouds, and these are slowing you down, Scorpio, and it could be for a good reason. So I would say avoid being pushy, and with the Coffin and Moon, give it time, maybe even a month or so, because we've got the Moon, which is a cycle of a month. And it sounds like this person is not ready to come around, or, the issues between you and this person need to sort of either come through, or, how you say they're sort of baking, until they come through. Or, you sort of just let it go until they're ready for this. Now, the Rider with the Coffin, Stork, and Moon is a bit more hopeful. We've got the Rider and Stork on either side of the Moon. I think this is definitely a message for being gentle. And the Coffin remains a slower card and a card of things being on hold. Now, usually with the Coffin and Stork in this order, it can suggest things picking up. But again, we have the Clouds on the other side of the Stork, Scorpio. So I think what you try to move forward with doesn't really pick up. So this is a bit of a slower week where things are not moving forward in the way that you'd like, Scorpio. I'm not so sure you can do much about this because it does involve another person, so you can't control everything. So it's best to just let it go and to allow things to, come through on their own time. The Mouse with the Coffin, Clouds, and Moon is more challenging. We have all three challenging cards connected here, and the Moon with these challenging cards like the Clouds and the Mouse suggests the dark side of the Moon. This person could be evolving on the inside, or you are, and the relationship between the two of you is sort of these issues are bubbling up and they're kind of forming and coming through. So again, this is definitely a week for slowing down, letting go. And I would say what you can do, Scorpio, in such a situation is observe and also practicing letting go. This could prove a little bit frustrating, but again, not everything is in your hands and you don't want to force this person or force the thing in the relationship to come through. So just let it go. Take a step back, observe what's going on, and you could also be processing what's going on and thinking about the future steps with this person. Now, the cards can apply in different contexts. So the dog is a relationship, but we have relationships in every area of life. This could be work related. It could be family. It could be a friend. It could be someone who offers you a service like a banker, a doctor, a nurse, an accountant, people like that. And, maybe you're rethinking the connection, rethinking the situation. But it's definitely a time to step back. This is more about thinking than doing. So don't over try and get frustrated. If it's not working out, just let it go. And also realize that the other person also needs space. So let me know what you make of this, Scorpio. Let me know who this person is and what the issues were with them. And if you're able to let go and take a step back. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with this, Scorpio. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Sagittarius, here is your extended line of 5, and it's looking really exciting, especially for work, career, and money. We've got the Fox, which is an employment card, the Lily, which is a career card, and the Fish, which is the card of money. So we have quite a few cards relative to the number of overall cards in here that point to work. And the flowers in the middle is a card of success and creativity and productivity. So it sounds like a really productive week where things are blooming for your work, your business, your money, and it's looking really exciting. So in the beginning, we have the Heart, Fish, and Flowers. This is great for your income, for success financially and practically. It's great for making more money or growing your financial base. And it's also great for your ambitions in a broader sense. The House and Lily is great for establishing something solid. It's great for your family life, your home life, and your security as a whole. And it's also great for your work and your career. The House could be a reference to your home or your life situation, especially with the Lily. And it can also refer to the job, your work environment, your team, or maybe your business. And so this line overall is clearly suggesting that you are on the right track and that you should keep building on what you're building, and that this is going to lead to success, and it's productive, and it's also financially successful. Now, the Bird is a card of communication. So it's great for being vocal, and certainly with the flowers, it's great for expression. The Fox is a bit opposite. The Fox tends to be a bit more silent, and so you might need to balance your excitement with your discipline, especially in the face of the success that we're seeing for you, Sagittarius. But the Fox is also the card of work, jobs, employment, and with the Bird and flowers, maybe you land a job, or maybe you land an improvement in your job, or you get a project or some kind of opportunity that proves to be really exciting. It could be also a customer or a collaboration. So really nice cards that bring success and expression and creativity. So really nice cards that bring success, productivity, and creativity. Now, the Fish with the Bird, House, and Fox confirms this. The Fox and House can represent your job or your business or your home-based business. And with the Fish and Bird, you could be negotiating a deal. You could also be taking care of financial matters. Maybe it's income, as we saw in other lines. So it's going to be quite busy, and you need to get busy, Sagittarius, because you are like in a wave of activity and momentum. So you want to take advantage of this energy. And the Heart, Bird, Lily, and Fox is also lovely for your work, your career. The Bird and Heart can bring a bit of anxiety, and the Heart and Fox usually represent someone who's half-hearted, especially when it comes to relationships. But in this context, Sagittarius, this is more about your work, your discipline, and getting things done. So you need to negotiate where you can, but you also want to temper this, and you need to get going and to keep doing stuff for your work, your business, because it's really productive. So overall, Sagittarius, this is a lovely message for success, creativity, productivity. It's also great for money and income and success in this regard as well. It's very clear that you are on a stable path, that you want to keep building on top of what you already created and keep growing in this direction. Really nice cards. If people are in the picture, I would say temper the relationship, temper your communication, and maybe you don't have to reveal everything that you have in mind. I think you should really focus on your goals and enjoy the success here. So keep going, keep moving forward, keep building, keep being creative and productive. This is looking really fulfilling and rewarding. So very best of luck with this, Sagittarius. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Capricorn, here is your extended line of 5. It's looking a little bit complicated. We have the clouds in the middle, the snake, and the scythe. And with the house and stork and book here, there can be a revelation. There can also be a change. You could be moving away from someone or something, or even moving altogether. But we do have the flowers at the end of the line. So the change can be a bit of a difficult transition, but there is like some happiness and fun on the other side of this. So backing up here, Capricorn, we have the stork and book. Normally this is a revelation. or something opening up, news or something that comes up. But I have to say, with the clouds and snake on the other side of the book, it might not be the easiest of news, the clearest of information. So it sort of muddies things and it brings issues out into the surface. But again, the beautiful flowers at the end of the line is quite reassuring. The flowers is one of the brightest cards of the deck, and it is very much a card of hopefulness and optimism. So whatever challenge or even negativity that could come through, it's very clear, Capricorn, that you can neutralize it. And also, like we said, it can be a transition, that on the other side of this, there's happiness, success, and well-being. Now, I say transition because there is a change. We have the scythe and the stork, and we see them with the house. We also have the snake and scythe, which is usually a snake bite, so something a bit painful. But it can also point to a letting go and a change, especially since we have the stork and house, the scythe and house, the stork and scythe, and a few combinations here. So the clouds between the house and scythe is definitely breaking through the confusion. So this is a really nice message. Unlike the snake, which is kind of quiet and, it sort of observes, the scythe is loud and clear. It is sharp and it points to a cutting through and a separation. So the issues that come up here, you're able to break through the confusion. And like I said earlier, this can also point to letting go and getting out of a certain space or an environment. So again, you could be leaving, moving, making other changes. Maybe there's a bunch of people here or a situation that is negative and you get out of it. So it's really nice to see the flowers in this context because it definitely liberates you from a situation that proves to be difficult or negative on you. So again, that's why I said there's a transition. You're changing, you're making a change, you're getting out of something, you're moving, you're bringing things out into the open. And on the other side of this, it feels relieving and happy. The book with the house, snake, and scythe, this is very clear. This could be someone nasty who shows through, Capricorn. It could also be some difficult news that comes up. But like I said, it can also point to letting go and moving. And so maybe you're also the one who makes the point or, makes the change and you announce that you're leaving and you're not dealing with this anymore and you've got to go. So you definitely want to bring these issues out into the surface, Capricorn. And so there is an action, sharp action that we see with these cards to help you get unstuck from the confusion, the situation. The stork with the house, flowers, and scythe. This is the closest we can get to a move and a change. You could be leaving, moving homes. You could be breaking away from a certain environment. You could be breaking off with certain people. And again, with the flowers on the other side of this, it is a happy time as well. So the transition, like we saw, is a bit difficult, maybe a bit painful. But again, you have to move, you have to make a change, and you'll soon be on the other side of this, enjoying the change, enjoying the next thing that is coming up for you. Now, the cards can apply in different contexts, Capricorn. We have the house, which is often a card of home and family. So we could be looking at a change on your home front, your personal front, with family, with closer people. But the house can apply in different contexts as well. It could be a team on the job. It could be a group of people that you're part of. It could be your job, your gym, and, any other sort of usually smaller environment that you're connected with. So whatever this space or situation or context it is for you, the dynamic is the same. Something comes up, there's something that's bubbling up out into the surface. There's a change. It's potentially a bit challenging, but it's also relieving on the other side of this. So let me know what you make of these ideas, Capricorn. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Aquarius, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Aquarius, here is your line of 5, extended line of 5. It's looking pretty good. We have the sun, which is a very bright card. We have the anchor and tree and the house, and these are all peaceful, stable, steady cards. We have the fox at the end of the line. It's a little bit tricky, especially with a person. So here it's about managing a relationship. It could be a customer, a collaborator, a colleague, people like that, you know, whom you need to sort of manage the connection with. But the fox is also great for jobs, discipline, and getting things done. In the middle, we have the book. The book is a card of knowledge, and it could also be a card of learning, or it can point to news. And certainly with these bright cards, it's looking positive. So let's back up here. We have the sun, anchor, and book. This is great for a very positive conclusion, for having the right information, for success potentially in some creative projects, especially if you write, teach, learn, research, do all of these things. It's great for that. And with the tree and fox, it's definitely heading in the right direction. The fox is not the most exciting of cards, but it's certainly smart and clever. And with the tree and book, you are deepening your knowledge, you are deepening your expertise. You could also be learning and working in this, or perhaps you are working with someone on this project or this information or this learning phase. So these are really nice cards. And also, if it is about news and information, you definitely want to be patient with this, Aquarius, and you definitely want to get to the bottom of this. It might take a bit of time. It might take a bit of research and discipline, possibly even the help of someone, but you definitely want to keep focusing on this, deepening your information, your knowledge, and your expertise. Now, the house with the book and woman can suggest someone whom you do not know, a place that you do not know. So you could meet someone, and this can be the person who you get to know, or who is part of this process of evolution, part of this process where you're focusing on this person, on this knowledge, and on growing. So you could be learning from this person, you could be getting to know them, maybe you're collaborating together, but this is a sort of, it's not so much an exploratory phase. There is that element, but it is very much about depth and learning and understanding in order to become more expert, you know. So it is another level of knowledge. It's not surface level. It has more depth. The anchor with the house, tree, and woman, this is a very solid situation. So you definitely want to spend time with this person, dedicate your efforts to this person. This is very much about growth. And you could also be doing pretty well, especially when it comes to things like work and jobs and, you know, those sorts of, maybe your business and so on. So this is a supportive relationship, and it's part of your success. You have to work through things, you know, not everything is, you know, you're still discovering things, but you definitely want to give it the time and be steady. The sun with the house, fox, and woman is also bright, mainly because of the sun. Like I said at the outset, the fox is a little bit tricky. It can represent someone who's a bit selfish, self-interested, and it is connected with this woman. It's connected with the house. So again, you want to maintain a professional connection here, and also to be, you know, to manage the relationship in a smart way. You don't have to reveal everything that you have in mind. You know, it sounds like a more professional, more tactful kind of connection here. But it's looking like it's important for you. It can lead to good things. And even if things are slower with this person, you know, you still want to focus on it, because this project is looking exciting. And the cards are definitely telling you to stick with it. We have the beautiful sun at the outset. The anchor and tree are very solid, and so is the house. So these are lovely cards for a project, for a relationship, and for a collaboration, Aquarius. It is a bit slower of an energy, but there's an element of depth. So you're not taking shortcuts. It's not surface level. You know, you really need to get in there. It could be contributing to your expertise or your work, your business, or even a relationship outside of these areas. So let me know what you make of these ideas. Aquarius, I'd be interested to know what the book was for you and who this person is, and what is it that's sort of growing and deepening. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with the week. Thank you as always for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself. Okay, Pisces, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's draw your extended line of 5 and see what is in store for you this week. Okay, Pisces, here is your extended line of 5. It's looking a little bit challenging. It sounds like you're going to be pretty busy and maybe all over the place because of the birds with these challenging cards here. We do have a woman in the cards. She could represent you, but she could also represent a person whom you meet or you're doing things with, and it sounds like it's going to be busy. There can be some problems that come up, and certainly with the book in the middle, which is a card of knowledge and information, you want to bring everything out into the open. In all likelihood, you're going to find that there are some things that you disagree with, and you need to confront these elements. So the ship with the woman is quite exciting. There can be some venture that you pursue with this person. She could also represent someone who's traveling. With the book and tree, this is very much about knowledge and growth and learning. So you could be pursuing some project with this person. She could be someone who contributes to your learning or to your creativity. Now, the birds is often a card of excitement, and it is a vocal card. So it's the opposite of the book. The book is usually a secret, it's closed, and the bird is about expression and being vocal. So when we see this line taken together, you need to collaborate with someone in order to bring some things out into the open. You might need to negotiate and discuss things. You have to, you have to move forward to bring out these this situation or this project. It needs to be articulated. Things need to be articulated. The thing about the tree is that it can be a bit slower, and I think this is potentially a source of frustration. And the reason I say this is because we have the mouse and whip on either side of the book. Now, these are challenging cards, especially the whip, Pisces, which is usually the most challenging card of the deck. So the mouse and book is very much about misinformation, gaps, missing things, and possibly misleading information or a situation. And with the whip, it does call for a confrontation. So yes, it is challenging, but actually it's for your benefit. You can't leave these gaps as they are. You can't ignore them. You can't let it exposed in this way. You have to bring this out into the open. You have to confront it. And that's likely why we have the bird at the end of the line. So you have to talk about it. You have to say no where it doesn't work. You have to say this is missing. You have to fix things. The woman with the mouse, tree, and whip, this is where we see the tension come through with this person. So you have to have this conversation with this person and confront her and confront the issues. And then we've got the ship, mouse, bird, and whip, which also continues in a challenging direction. The bird with the whip is about a difficult conversation, and the mouse and bird is sort of similar, though not as dramatic as the whip. And we have the ship, which is about moving forward and going in this direction. So Pisces, taking all this together, you can't leave things up to chance. You can't turn a blind eye to the matters that are at stake here. If we're looking at some information or a contract or an agreement or whatever this information looks like, whatever format it takes for you, you need to dig in. And you'll find that there are problems, that there are things that are not working. You have to fix it. You have to confront the person. You have to have the conversation. So it could be a bit of a rougher week, but it's definitely clear advice, Pisces, not to let this go. And you have to deal with things, and you have to negotiate and, move forward. So it's looking a bit busy. Relationships are not the smoothest or the easiest, but you have to deal with this, and you can't, I would say don't delay at all. So the whip is very active, even aggressive, and it's definitely a call for you to deal with this without further delay. So be in touch with this person, have a conversation, reach out, don't be shy. It might be a bit tense, but you definitely need to deal with this and bring things out into the open. Another thing, Pisces, is that these cards can apply in different contexts. We have a relationship and we have them in different parts of our life. So we don't really see what area is in focus here. It could be work, family, relationships, something else in your life. So let me know what you make of these ideas, Pisces. Let me know how it goes. Very best of luck with this somewhat bumpy week. As always, I look forward to your thoughts and feedback. Very best of luck with it. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, take very good care of yourself.